Hi, this is Ruth, Theresa with One Inspiring Woman, and today we're talking about planetary energies. That's right, today we're talking about how we can use planetary energies to really help us manifest or kind of bring in new abundance into our lives. Doesn't that sound like fun? I think it sounds like fun. So really what we're talking about is last year, December 20th, 2022, we had Jupiter moving through the fire sign of Aries. And really this combination really is kind of a great way to kind of look at things. Jupiter is the planet of abundance and luck and prosperity and kind of just, forging your new empire kind of energy. And then we've got Aries, which is all about that push, like that war push of like, just get it done. Let's do this one more thing. And so both of them together are really pushing a lot of people to kind of push that opportunities forward for abundance, for growth. And it's kind of like a really great combination of the two. And one of the things that's really important, this is kind of the time to really kind of spring into action, kind of like move. What are you ready to move into? And not kind of the stuff that you're like, I'm not ready for that yet. No. This is the stuff that you're like, oh yeah, here I come. And a lot of times people, when they first start thinking about manifesting, they're like, well, I'm going to manifest $100 or $1,000 or $10,000. And they keep going. Make sure that it's manifesting something that you can believe in is kind of really the most important part. But it's one of those, this is also a great time to kind of forge that energy of like, I've always wanted my own business, so let's put that into play. And let's start moving forward. And this is the great energy to do this. And we've got, like I said, from December 20th of 2022 all the way until May 16, 2023. And this is that energy of like, what are we ready to move into? What are we ready to go into? And this is kind of that fun part. Spring into action, kind of open the doors of opportunity. Like, where do you want to go? What do you want to do? What do you want to accomplish? And like I said, make it believable to you. If you're kind of like, I want $10 billion or something like that, and your body's going, it's not going to happen. It has to be believable to you. And at least your energy. So being dynamic and courageous is amazing. Yet at the same time, be really confident. I can manifest this amount of money between now and then. Between today and May 16th, 2023, I can manifest $10,000. Okay, well, let's work on that. Work on that it's unbelievable for you. Make sure that it's something that you can, yes, I can get behind this energy. Because this is going to be really bringing all these experiences together. Some people you're going to see, I've noticed in the last couple of weeks of people like, I really want to move forward. I want to start traveling again. I want to start doing this. And so you're seeing people kind of really not just little travels, like big travels all around the world. Let's do this. Let's get into this energy. And so this can be really a fast-paced energy of like, what do I want to manifest? Where do you want to go? Not what everybody else wants. Don't always do that. Because a lot of times when people go, I want to manifest this, and everybody else is talking about it, it may not be really what you want. When you start thinking about it, it's like, okay, I got into this and I'm just not happy, or I'm not satisfied with what's going on. Jupiter in Aries is bringing in some big changes, and you have to be ready for those. But if you're not confident enough to kind of like, yes, this is what I want, it's not going to happen. And there may be two different fields of that. It could be like, yes, I'm confident for this because this is my personal commitment. I want to do this. But there could also be some global stuff in there. Like, what is the global stuff that you really want? What is that kind of like in those two different areas? So one could be more personal and one could be more global, kind of putting that energy and that optimism kind of forward. What do I want to create in my world? This is a really kind of a great time to start thinking about that. And what would it look like? What would it feel like? And I always tell people, like, put all of your senses into that. So like, what would it feel like to have this accomplished? To say, ta-da, I did it. What would it feel like? What would it sound like? What would it smell like? And all of those kind of like interesting ones, because if you don't put your senses into it, it makes it like it's just a dream. And then you end up going, no, I'll do it another time. No, this is a great time to kind of put that energy into play and kind of like throwing yourself with your passion. Like the more you sense it, the more you feel it, the more you know it's coming, it's going to like make it more real for you, and you're more likely to accomplish this goal, and instead of going like, nah, I'm not going to do it this time, I'll do it another time. One of the funny things is Aries is really ruled by Mars. And Mars has a very abundant energy. Most people think of Mars and Aries as like this war type energy, but that also has a lot of abundance, because when you go to war, you don't want to, have all your people die, or you don't want to have, that's right, when you go off to war, you want your side to win, and that's abundance. You want your side to be the dominant side, and that's a lot of self-confidence. So make sure you bring that on board. I've got this self-confidence. I want this to create this. I want to do this. I want to do it for me. I want to do it for my spouse. I want to do it for my family. And bringing that energy, that confidence with it is going to really amplify this in some major ways. So this is kind of one of those like really pushing this energy and kind of really understanding like, what are the steps that I need to take? Because so many times people will be like, I really want to start my own business. I was like, okay, so step number one, I don't know. Start looking it up. What are the things that you have to have in place to start your own business? What is it? What is it that you have to have? And then I always tell people, when you're working on something, even if it's Jupiter in the sign of Aries, it's like expect things to kind of come up, expect things to kind of not go right, because then you kind of get to learn like, okay, I thought this is what I did, but I went there to do this paperwork and they said I need something else. So go be in action about that. And as you learn the process, that's a great way to think about it, instead of going like, oh my gosh, I can't do it now because I have to go do something else. No. It's not a you get off, get out of jail free card. It's like, let's push this energy. If this is what they want, like, okay, how much does it cost? Where do I need to go? When are they open? All of that kind of stuff, and pushing that knowledge and understanding of what are the next steps. One of the things that's really important is kind of bringing in that optimism and that growth and that wisdom. And that wisdom is kind of knowing what you think you need to do. And if it doesn't work out, then make changes. Don't just, no, really know what it is that you have to do. And if you have to make changes and then make more changes and add more things to it, then do that. And a lot of times I will tell you, I think it's really funny. Several months ago, I did a class on abundance and like, what would you need to start your own business? And I guarantee you, 99% of the people really didn't know that much, or they only knew like one part of it. They didn't even know enough, like the whole picture, or not even enough to make a whole picture. So that's kind of a great way to kind of look at it, is what is it that you want to kind of bring in, and take the steps, take the time. Do you have to file paperwork? Where do you have to go? How much does it cost? Where is it? All that kind of stuff. It's kind of an interesting energy. One of the other interesting things is it could be a Jupiter return. Jupiter in the sign of Aries could be, technically, it's usually, when people call it a return, it's kind of like in this home sign that you were born in. So that means that you are 12, you are 24, you are 36, 48, all that kind of stuff. So where is your energy in that? Where's that energy in that? So as you think about it, if this is kind of one of those times, if not, you can still use it. Just means if it's in the Jupiter is in return, it means that it's returning. You were born in a year that Jupiter was in the sign of Aries. And then you have an opportunity to make new changes. But even if you weren't, you can still take advantage of this. There is no, oh, it's not your turn. No. It just means that ever so often this is going to be coming up. And it's kind of giving you that little bit of like kick in the side, like, hey, let's get this to go. Let's light that dynamite stick and whoosh, across the energy. One of the things that is really kind of interesting during this time frame as well, you may have old relationships kind of fading or taking away, kind of like, okay, it's going. You may also have change of careers, and it could be like, I was doing this for a long time and then I'm doing something else, or I've changed companies. I've heard of a lot of people in the last few weeks, even if it's not necessarily like I was doing this and now I'm doing something completely different. It could be I was doing this and now I'm changing a little bit, or I'm changing companies. or even move to a new location. I want one that's closer to home, or I want one's closer to somewhere else. This may even give you a completely different outlook. Like, what are the possibilities? Where do I want to go in all of this? This can bring a lot of like energy forward of like, what do I really want to accomplish? And a lot of times, if you have no clue whatsoever at all, like, I have no idea what I want to do, go back to when you were a kid. Because a lot of times when we were kids, okay, maybe we wanted to be kind of crazy things like a ballerina or a cowboy or whatever it is. But at the same time, take that imagination, kind of like draw pictures. What is it that really makes you happy? What is it that makes you happy? That's a cool thing to think about. Like, what are the things I really like to do? If you really hate doing paperwork, then paperwork is not your thing. Now, every company has paperwork, yet at the same time, maybe you find someone else to do the paperwork part so you can do the fun stuff. Maybe you like doing the paperwork, but you don't like doing the sales stuff. So find someone else to do the sales stuff for you. And that kind of brings in more people, because when you're blessing you with your business and adding more people on, this really is kind of like moving that energy forward. Like, this really has to kind of like move this energy forward of what do you want to do? Where do you want to go in this? And this is a great way to kind of really think about what's going on with you and where is this energy going. This can be a great time to kind of bring in some things that you really want to dominate on. Like, what are the things I really want to be like, I've done all of this. I have fixed all of this. I have done all of this. It's an exciting time in this relationship with Jupiter and Aries, and kind of what are the qualities that you have. Maybe you're really good at leadership. Maybe you're really good at paperwork. Maybe you're really good at sales. Finding other people to do the parts that you're not good at, and find time for doing the things that you're really confident in, and explode that energy of like, yes, I really love this part. And it's one of those, not that you can't have, you know what I'm saying, like you can't have to do everything, but it's kind of the fun part, like making arrangements for this, making changes for this, and kind of bringing in this energy a little bit differently. Notice that Jupiter in the sign of Aries is going to give us great experiences and confidence that we may not have seen. And you may see other people kind of like, I'm starting my own business. You're like, oh my gosh, you're starting your own business? I had never even thought about that. So it's one of those bringing up that kind of that really pushing energy, really, really bringing in a lot of amazing energy. It is great to step out of the norm. It is great to step forward and kind of step in that confidence and stepping out into what you desire to bring into your life. That's really the cool part about this. So spend some time really thinking about what do you desire to bring into your life at this time. Let's do some angel cards and give us a little bit more insight into all things Jupiter in the sign of Aries. I got a couple of them jumping here. The first one is healing. I guarantee there is going to be some time. I'm going to think it's like late March or so. There's some healing energy that comes up in this as well. And so that could be healing some energy of like, no one ever thought I could have my own business, and I'm healing this and I'm moving this forward. Or maybe it's a healing business that you're ready to do. Maybe you need to step out on your own and start your own business. Enchantment. This is a really good card, kind of like really stepping into that amazing energy of what do you want to bring in this. Enchantment is kind of like going back to that childhood. What is it that you really want to be, or what are the really great things that really amplify your energy or really push you to kind of push your energy forward and get ready for what's next. Emerging. This is all about emerging. All of this Aries energy, this Jupiter energy of kind of like bringing these changes forward and stepping out into faith of like, okay, I can do this. I can really bring this in. Surrender and release. If there's anything that's keeping you from it, make sure you let it go. Release it. Don't hang on to that negative energy. And do it with confidence. Do the things that you're really confident in, and then find someone else who's confident in the other parts and have them do the parts that you're not so confident in. Divine guidance. This is really your time. This is really your area of expertise, and you are really ready to kind of open this energy up and to make some amazing changes in your life. I thank you so much for joining me today, and I know that we'll be talking again soon.